guy across the table you can't see?
If only he was just closer to the table.
No. It's not how that works.
I'm catching that knee now. We actually see more of you now. That's where you should be. It's not even the shot, Ryan. It's just your distance from the table. But anyways, I'm actually working on a homework assignment that's due today at midnight, but it also is like somewhat related to my test, I guess. So it wouldn't hurt for me to like take this homework assignment and then use that as a part of my studying, if that makes sense. Because my class is not until 1, I believe. Isn't that what it is? When is my class again?
How would I know when your class is, Jen?
Yeah, because we do this like every day.
How would I know what your class is, Jen?
Yeah, it's at 1.
Do you have anything after your classes? Like after 4 or whatever?
At 4:30, Matt's gonna come over, and then
Which Matt is that?
Mr. Ham.
Okay, yeah.
And then I may or may not have a meeting with my modern systems group. I haven't received an email about it. Why are you so far away and out of the shop?
Because what are you gonna do with Matt?
With Matt? Probably hang out. It's very similar to when I hang out with you. Except when I hang out with Matt, I think we end up watching more anime.
I'd be fine with watching anime.
Yeah.
Gotta find anime to watch.
I feel like it works out pretty well. Like you hang out with us. Don't know the answer to that thing, so I gotta figure out what the fuck to do. But feel free to hit up topics. I feel like in this one in particular, you'll be carrying conversation a little bit more, considering the fact that I have to like also do this.
Oh, let's see. With the new level 6 Yu-Gi-Oh card, it allows you to take a level 6, or it's a level 6 draw card. It allows you to take a level 6 in your hand or that you have on the field, face up, and then put it on the bottom of your deck and draw 2. So, in Vampires, which I want to play, I guess, they have some level 6s. So, I'm trying to think of, like, what would be good. Like, I might then include Red Bear, because I don't, like, run Red Bear, even though I don't know if I should, because I have sometimes where it's, like, hard to summon at the higher level ones. Maybe if I played more, like, what is Vampire Sorcerer? Because that one allows you to like normal summon things without tripping, but he has to be in the grave. So I have to have a way of getting him in the grave. So maybe like Gozuki or something where you could just like summon him, put the other thing in the grave, and then maybe just like run more Gozuki. Because then you could like what's his second effect to like summon one of the higher level vampires out of your hands. Because it's not like you have to normal summon any of them but like Shadow, and Shadow's not even that great. Like it's alright.
Yo, Tobias, welcome. Cool short pockets and points. Also, Ryan, I'm just supporting the short pockets today. Yeah, 10 points. Get that out of here. Whoops.
That was my book
right
bag
into
that did that, didn't it?
No problem. You're good.
It's
I
fine.
noticed
We don't
there's
need
no
lights.
chair on that side, like the side your head's are. And there's
He's
also
just
a
getting
cord
out of the
in
way
that.
of the
Oh, you're
door.
just like walking in. I see. Well, welcome.
So I was thinking of the new level 6 draw card. Have you seen it?
I guess this is 3 guys talking.
It's like White Joe mentioned like this one. You can take a level 6 monster from your hand or face up on your field, put it on the bottom of the deck, and then draw 2 cards. It's all like that. Normal spell. So there's not too many like level 6 like centric deck like Hazy Flames, but they're like not good. You know, you could use in like Hieratics or Vampires or something.
Chaos Dragons.
Yeah, something like that, or like older Monarch. Or like,
So basically, it's like trade-in, except instead of discarding, you put
it's
it at the
like
bottom
trade in
of the
for like
deck.
level 6s.
Yeah.
Which there's less good level 6s.
Is it hard once per turn?
Don't know.
It's trade-in, but it works when you have stuff on the field, even if you have
Yeah,
anything
it's
in your
so
hand.
a
It's
hand
a little
or
more versatile.
field. Yeah. It'd be like if they combine trade in with advanced draw, and then it doesn't go to the graveyard. Because advanced draw is like you send a level 8 monster you control to the graveyard and draw 2 card, which is like worse because you have to like waste. Yeah, well, you have to like spend the resources to summon one and then put it in the grave. Maybe if you had some monster that's like easily summoned out of it.
That's advanced draw,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What you tribute it, you don't send it, but whatever.
Let me look it up.
The only reason I know that is because Matt used it in Dark.
Yeah, it is tribute.
Time Lords there
Or
for a
higher.
while.
Would that be useful in your deck that's all about tributing opponents?
I'm gonna go use the
Could
rest.
you
of
tribute
it.
someone else's
You could-
level 8 and draw 2
But
cards?
then they'd have to have a level 8.
Yeah. You would just, it would be for like specific matchup.
You could
kind
use
of
it
thing.
for like kaijus. Like give them the level 8, like a Gamisio, and then tribute that, and then draw 2 cards.
If you were facing like my
I
Felgrand
like I
Dragon
couldn't
deck,
I
that'd be really
considered it like an option, like maybe to use it, but I'm not really sure. Like still on the fence. I think I'm not sure how I want to run the kaijus in it, because the kaijus are pretty good. They can do the tribute, so you summon a lair token at the end off that tribute, because that counts. You can give it to the opponent, and then you can tribute it for a virus, so you can essentially take out like multiple monsters at once, or kind of at once. It's like part of the thing. I'm not sure if I would rather do something like advanced draw. I already have trade in. The problem is the Raiden is a level 7. He's the level 7 Dark Fiend Kaiju at 2800 attack. So he's like really great to use in the deck if only he was level 8, so you could use a trade in on him. Because he's not level 8, I can't just go like 3 of him, trade in. I can still use him with like a lure, and I still have like allures, but it means I need like a second trade-in target that's also like really good. The problem is these other trade-in targets, while good, are kind of like they don't like gain anything from being discarded with trade-in. But yeah, so like advanced draw, you could tribute your opponent's stuff, but then they'd have to have a level 8 or higher monster to tribute. So maybe you could like sighted entities with kaijus. You also couldn't use it with Raiden kaiju, which is the optimum. The problem is that I want to run Raiden as a level or as a dark, so I can use a lure, because all the things in the rest of the deck are dark, and then Gamisio's the level 8, and so you can use trade in on him, but you don't really want to run like both. Maybe I'm not sure, because there's like more bricks of them. Like you draw them and then you don't have like trade in or allure, and it's just like bad. There's also other cards like what is it? Ballista Squad that probably rather run at multiples anyway than like the more draw cards, because I already have like Terraforming's allure and like trade in potentially. I wouldn't need like more draw cards. I just need more good cards to draw into with the draw cards I already have, which is why I'm waiting for Ballista Squad to come out on like Dueling Book and Nexus and stuff.
Nexus.
It's like a
Team Nexus.
Cybernetic Horizon card that's not on Nexus yet.
I've never really played Cyber Dragons. Is it worth getting into, considering it has like more support?
I don't know. Cyber Dragons is interesting. They're like kind of like aggro for like OTK strats a lot of the time. Like they've been like that for years, using what is it? The like Power Bond, the one where it's like you fusion summon and then it like doubles the attack, and then so you just like kill them with that. Yeah, power bond. So they're really like aggressive in that they need to kill you now, otherwise they'll like take a ton of damage. There's other things they have that it's like rampage dragon and stuff. They can like boost attack pretty high and fast, and they have some good cards. The problem is like I guess like bricks or something. You could try it out, online or something. Find some good Cyber Dragon build.
Based on other things you've seen me play, do you feel like it would be within my playstyle, or do you feel like it would be varying too far?
Do you have a playstyle?
Do I have a
like
playstyle?
I seen play like a bunch of different things. That aren't necessarily indicative of a playstyle.
That almost makes it sound like I'm just a loose cannon.
Maybe. I mean, you have all those half-built decks. you could whip out any of them. I don't know if that would work, but you could like always alternate, like always have a new deck. Make anti-decks, but anti-decks are pretty terrible.
They're very
tournaments.
specific. Yeah.
Yeah, they just don't work. You can have a bunch of like anti-deck cards to side in, but you can't have like a whole anti-deck because that needs a strategy. You can have like a bunch of side decky cards main decked, like going in a tournament. That's especially what happens when you have like tier 0 formats or something. We have like a really hard meta, it's like really pricey. It's like you can just floodgate and put like all of those things. But it also allows like rogue decks. So that's like,
So
like anti-meta. Yeah, so it's like they're not affected by the anti-meta that's going after the meta deck. And if they have a decent enough matchup against the meta deck, then they'll be fine. That's how like evil swarms are able to kind of float by as like a third rate deck in like Dragon Lore format, because it could stop both spellbooks and Dragon Rules from pulling out high level monsters. But other than like that format, evil swarms are like not that great, because everyone else after that, there was like a bunch of really good generic rank 4s that came out, like 101 and Castell, that just like shit on Ophion. They have a protection quick play that protects them from spells and traps, but it's like they just can't handle like monster effect removal, especially something like well, I guess Kaiju's wouldn't be a problem, but like still it'd be hard to deal with. Let's look at the vampire builds or whatever.
Making good progress on my homework so far.
I do think I like using Transmodify in the deck, because it seems decent. Like you can take most any of your vampires except maybe like Mizuki, and send to the grave summon a high level one. So you can turn Familiar into like a Brood, and then get like a Spell Search, Trap Search. Unizombie can manipulate its level, like send a couple things to the graveyard, then you drop Transmodify, and you could summon like a level 6 or a 5 or something. Can't use it on Brood or Mizuki, and you could probably cut out something like Grimson and Vampire, or Shadow Vampire, because they're like not as good, and maybe add more Scarglets or that other draw card. I'm not sure how I would have multiples or something.
What is your favorite draw card in the game?
Like probably the most versatile one that I ever use is like Allure. It's just dark decks. You just throw it in. It's like vampires use it, and like the virus deck use it. Cosmos, the main ones that I play online or whatever. Maybe something like what else? Like a Skull Servant deck or something. Dark Magician. It's not that good in Dark Magician. Really isn't though. I run it, but it's because they don't like benefit from being banished, and they also don't have a high monster count or anything. So that's another card that I'll wait for, like coming out online for online play or whatever. It's like Ballista Squad and the new one. I don't even know the name. It's something like, what is it? Celestial Sextant.
Also, sorry I've been so quiet.
That's fine. Yeah. In terms of like the vampire, or not the vampire, like the virus deck, there's a lot of like ratios, especially in trying to like fine tune like a second good dark level 8 that you can use, or just other cards besides like the viruses that you can use to tribute opponent stuff. There's a lot of versatility in like the builds. I think a lot of OCG are using as like a splashable engine, like Lilith in like side decks and like Diablos, and then you can like search out just like a bunch of traps or whatever traps you need, not specifically the viruses. And then there's a bunch of other cards that you might be able to use that tribute as cost, so you can tribute your opponent's stuff for things.
Okay, last problem for the homework. It's a long one. That doesn't seem too bad, actually. There's a lot of calculations.
A lot of calculations. Yes.
Okay. Let's see how we do. 96.
Sounds good. I also really like the virus cards as like a core of the deck. Like the new ones are all like really good in their functionality in the strategy of the deck. And it also seems like it's not half decent because, like I mentioned, dark support in terms of like having multiples, whereas some decks are just kind of like weak, even like with their new structure, like ancient gears. It's like if you can pull off the OTK, maybe with like Chaos Giant, but other than that, it's like not great. Like the new cards don't really add anything. Like no one's like playing like Reactor Dragon or the new one because it's not that great.
Do you think we'll ever get an archetype where it's like one of the cards will be like if you normal summon this card you contribute an opponent's monster, and then another one will be like if the battle position of this card changes you contribute an opponent's monster, and then another one is if this card's removed from the field you contribute
just tribute the opponent's monster. I mean, like the virus things just have like tribute an opponent's monster to activate an effect, because the field spell is like if you would tribute, or how it's worded is like once per turn if you would tribute a monster's to activate a card or effect, you contribute one dark monster your opponent controls as if you control it. So like if you're gonna use, tribute something for a virus, you contribute your opponent's thing. In that case, none of those would work with this card because they don't tribute for like activate an effect. Like tributing is like in the effect like afterwards, which is really odd. Usually you do tribute before.
What do you think?
Because that's the whole point of like tributing is cost.
That is a concept.
It's not that great. Like I don't really. It's not like it doesn't sound good. Like it just doesn't sound like a thing that would do that. Oh, you can tribute your opponent's monsters. It's like, but that's. I don't know. Like just use kaijus. Like
it sounds like good removal to me. With
kaijus,
you have to give them something.
Yeah, but you give them the kaiju.
But in this, you don't have
they're
to give
not
them
gonna
anything
tribute. The whole point is that tributing is like for cost. With kaijus, you tribute your opponent's shit, and they get something. With this stuff is you essentially turn your opponent's things into dark cards, and you use them as tribute fodder, as if you controlled it. Same thing with like Stormforth. Both cards are like really strong. You know, Stormforth is at 1. Because it's like a really strong effect. You just tribute opponent's stuff for your own summon. You wouldn't put tribute just like at the end of a regular effect. Like if this thing does a battle position change, tribute your opponent's monster, and then something happens. Like you tribute something like as a cost, or to cause something to happen. It's like how tributes work.
Isn't there a spell card that just straight up like you
Yeah,
tribute your
yeah,
thing and someone else's thing?
It's
but
share
then
the
nothing
pain.
else
Tribute
happens?
one monster. Make your opponent tribute one monster for no effect.
Yeah.
Is what it says. Yeah, but
It's just like that.
it's a minus
but for
1.
monster effects. But
so,
not you don't have to tribute your own thing for that.
Yeah, I mean, if you use it with the virus things.
Well, no, I'm saying like for this imaginary archetype I'm making up, isn't it just better?
No.
It's like the same kind of subject.
But then you'd
except
have to
you just-
fulfill those conditions. It's just like maybe, but it's not well designed.
I mean, I just made up like 3
Yeah, I know.
cards. Yeah, it's like
It's just
it
like
would-
terrible.
it'd have more
Tributes are usually for costs for something.
in the future.
The whole point of like share the pain is you tribute one of your things for no effect. You
Yeah.
also make your opponent tribute, but that's still like a minus 1. If you have like the field spell on the field, that's still like removing 2 cards, but it's like cost neutral. You know, you spend 2 cards to get rid of 2 of their cards. So you're not like going plus. You're like disrupting their field more, but you're still. It's not like card economy.
I mean, you really only
Like all
spend
of those
one
things is
card.
like, all of those like kind of effects where it's just like if you summon it, you can tribute your opponent's card. That's still like not even like +1 effects. That's just like a 1 for 1.
Mm.
So, I don't know.
Lava Golem gets rid of 2 of your opponent's things.
Yeah, and then they gain a thing. The whole point
Well, they gain
of the
lava. I
kaiju-like
see.
thing is
Yeah.
to balance it.
Mm.
Is that they get a lava golem. Lava golem still burns them, but to balance it, they have a 3,000
An
attack monster.
Yeah.
With the kaijus, you only tribute 1, and they don't have to burn something. Or yeah, they don't have that negative effect that continuously burns them.
I'm surprised
And
at
you
how
can switch some of
quickly
the other.
time has moved. It's really fucking. We've been here for like 35 minutes.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like 35 minutes.
I've been looking at the clock periodically, so I am aware of the passage of time. Just now looking at the clock. I'm like, but it's been 35 minutes.
I'd say around like
You're doing your homework.
12:40 or something like that.
Yeah.
I should probably start heading over. I was told lecture 4 and 5 are really good to look at. She definitely gave us a really generous note sheet.
Notes.
The main thing I just don't want to happen is for me to walk into the test and I have the note sheet that has like all these symbols on it, and for me to essentially know what I have to do but not know what some of the symbols are, and I just get fucked. I feel like that's my current worst case scenario. I know there's one section of this that I'm really confident about. Like I know that like if I get problems in that section, I'm fine. I would argue 2 different sections where I feel that level of confidence. let's see. It's about 3 minutes till 12:40, so I'll probably start packing a little bit. That way when 12:40 hits, I'm just ready. Oh, he has it. I mean, Tobias. Since it's getting closer to 12:40, I'm starting to pack up.
Yeah, I figured better get my butt back in here because I didn't want you to leave without me.
There you go. I noticed we got one viewer on the stream. Don't forget to smash that like button. Truly appreciate it. Especially if you're enjoying the content. Pardon me. Oh snap, there's a whole bunch of live chat. So let's see. The Shredder says, it's Wednesday, my dudes. Yo, thank you kindly, Shredder. It is Wednesday. Matt said, this doesn't seem like a good scenario to be studying in. Then he said, Jet, why do you stream everything? And then he said, no. So smashing the like button.
Yeah, Jet, why do you stream anything? Because you're a vlogger? Got a vlog?
Well, I feel like you never know.
It's not even like a vlogger, because vlogs, like, record the thing, and then they'll go back and, like, edit it, you know, with, like, quick cuts and stuff.
This is live.
Yeah, this is just
uncut.
Uncensored.
I used to stream
It's a streamer.
significantly more. Well, not stream, but record significantly more in my life. Like on the regs.
All those old 8-year-old YouTube channel videos.
8-year-old YouTube.
Yo, you have a bunch of, like, old videos. Alright, let's go.
Jet's not done packing.
Yeah.
Up yet, but I guess I can.
But I'm gonna go.
Just don't worry, almost packed up.
Well, Jet, I guess we'll let you catch up.
Oh, no problem. Oh, see you guys soon. But yeah, hopefully I'll do well on this business statistics test that's coming up. I right now have a flat 80 in that class. Before I had like a 78. But the homework assignment brought my grade up. Sorry, this is just a gross angle. There we go. And we should be good. Sorry, hand blocking the camera. Let's see, Matt said maybe you should have studied and not streamed. That's distracting yourself. No, Matt. I have to distract myself a little bit to study, or else studying becomes too boring. Also, I'm not at any disadvantage, considering the fact that I have plenty of time. As I descend into the dark abyss. Dun, 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 dun. Ryan. There we go. So yeah, right now I'm heading to class. So I guess this is no longer a two guys talking stream, so I'll probably cut it here. Oh wait, well there's Zach. I mean Tobias. Tobias, TMZ would like to know. Yeah, dude.
Ryan went the other way.
Yeah, he's going to Morton. It makes sense.
Which is where his class is, but I find that unusual because usually he walks in class.
Yeah, I mean, we are cutting it close. We got like 20 minutes, right?
Yeah, that's not any more than
I don't know. Don't we normally try to leave at like 12:30?
It does seem like you kind of want to lean on the earlier side. Yeah.
Oh, we asked them.
Yeah. So it probably gives him another like 10 minutes normally.
That's fair. And you're still streaming.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
So the title was two guys talking, one guy studying or whatever. I guess I'm still thinking about material. That's a good thing.
I mean, I don't know about two guys talking because I went to the bathroom, but...
True. Well, I mean, I almost called him Zach. Ryan was still there.
True.
Yeah. And even when it was 3 guys, you could still add it up and make it sound like 3. Because it's like 2 guys talking, 1 guy studying. The 1 guy would be me, like studying, and then the 2 guys would be like you and Ryan at the time. So I don't know, the title's flexible with the math. But yeah, I guess I realized that I could stream a lot more than I had been, and the easiest answer would just be to stream more of just normal goings-on. Oh, sorry about that. It's not like interesting stuff doesn't happen. Because they're tight. I thought you were just looking at the sun.
What it is that my mom told me that if you look up at a light, it'll make you sneeze for some reason. So if you already feel like a sneeze is coming on, if you look up at a light, it'll make you sneeze.
So you were looking at the sun?
Yes, and sneezing.
Huh.
Well, not like directly looking at the sun, more like kind of glancing at it for a split second to help sneeze.
Carry it through. Oh, Ryan said your sister does like character acting stuff. Is that true?
Yes.
Oh wow, that's cool.
She does her YouTube channel, and that's what she does on it.
Is it like Shakespearean? Is it like modern?
I would say leaning more on the modern side.
Are they like skits, or are they like one-person things?
Both. Because she's the one playing all the characters, but they're also skits too.
Oh, okay. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't know. Are there any extracurriculars that you do that I'm like, I don't know of, but they're really cool?
Well, you already know I'm in band, right? I
Yeah.
play the saxophone. Of course, you know I play Yu-Gi-Oh. You know I play console games. You know I'm going to school here. You know I'm going to church.
You watch the Cowboy with Bebops?
That was a while ago when I finished that, but yes.
True. Are you watching any anime currently?
No, I keep meaning to catch up on the Dragon Ball Super dub. I've just been too busy.
Yeah. I mean, you could always wait for that to finish since we know it's going to finish. It would just be a hot minute. It probably won't finish until maybe next year. Maybe they'll try and simulcast whatever the next series of Dragon Ball will be, if there will be one. Probably will be one. That'd be nice. Be able to get it in English and Japanese around the same time.
Here's an interesting question. If assuming there is another Dragon Ball series, do you think Akira Toriyama will be the head of it?
I do think Toriyama will still be behind it until he dies. Then I think it'll go to Toyotaro.
Because it's kind of funny to think, because at one point he didn't even want to do it, because that's why he wasn't even part of GT. He wanted to retire from it or do other things or whatever.
Well, he didn't know where to take it for real past a certain point.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden he did.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta keep upping the ante.
Alright, I'll see you later.
Catch you later, dude. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like this video. Favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding ding ding, ring that bell so you know if I ever do these live streams. It's your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black One Only, logging out. Peace.